And with that, we can start. I could listen to this music for, Jesus Christ, another hour. Also pretty sad. Hey Ko. Yeah, I just wanted to say this. It's pretty sad. You're 150 damage. I'm just drawing this out so that I can listen to the music a little bit longer. Your 150 damage is from the follow that we got in the stream before, and I'm not so okay with that because, well, he unfollowed instantly again. I already tested this with Shiny, that I gave myself a test follow, and that should normally reset, at least when I restart the stream. So I don't know. It should actually count this somehow. If I had known going on a run. It is bad for your health, is it? How bad is it? What have you done? How many legs have you broken? Shame about all the cannibalism. And okay, so I actually... And don't forget to visit me at the Corporeum, oui? Okay. I think that's the one, huh? Is it the one? Hello, Spooky. How's your feet? Why the fascination with my feet, Annie? Surely the juiciest stuff. Wait a minute. No, that's not what I... Okay. Wait a minute. So the other one is the newer one. Load game. Well, oh, this is... Oh. Okay, yeah. 220, not 020. Well, we're still gonna start with Annie again. And hey, Helly, how's it going, man? How was the rest of your stream? The game looks spicy. Well, this is the Miskatonic. We started it on Halloween because I said I wanted to not do what everyone else does. And I have a preference for, well, with my laptop limitations, I'm actually playing a lot of visual novels. And so this actually is kind of a little bit about everything occultish and, you know, kind of a homage to it, I kind of want to say. maybe more of a persiflage. And you know, like it's just in the style of kind of a visual novel. There's not much gameplay to it. Well, there's no gameplay whatsoever, which is something that I normally don't really like so much. But I actually had really fun with this. It hooked me when we started playing this. Has a really good feeling to it. I could have actually listened to the starting music just for the next half an hour. It's such a chill, chill tune to it, and the atmosphere is quite interesting about this game. I broke a wrist roller skating once, but nothing running, not yet. And you have hurting feet now? Hello, Wobbly. Oh, did you enjoy your little bacon, Sonny? I did. Thank you, Annie. What was the sauce on it? It was scrumptious. Ah, that's the secret English sauce recipe. I smuggled some under my fabulous petticoats. Back home we simply call it brown. Ah, shop. Don't tell me it's made out of, like, shredded freckles and ripped out throats or something. I'm gonna get sharp teeth and purple blood, Annie. Oh, am I gonna get sharp teeth and purple blood, Annie? Oh, no. They made brown sauce before the Great Funnening. It's made out of vinegar and molasses and all that. Tastes great on a cooked ass, though. Oh. By the way, this is our not yet girlfriend. I don't know. Annie is from England. Yeah, that should explain everything why she is actually in a horror game or kind of a horror setting. They are all cannibals. As you know the English. It's just a thing. Not yet girlfriend. I have many plans, and she is actually very interested in our feet. Well, also our arse, but mostly our feet. What's the Great Funnening? When everything got fun. Used to be really boring before everyone went a little nuts. Should have seen me playing badminton in my ugly-assed white dress, been courted by the local boys and played waistcoats and coiffed hair, pims and pickle on cocktail sticks, picnics on the weekend at the park, bus to town comes every hour. Please and thank you, routine and peasant. Bloody tedious. I don't know, that sounds kinda nice. You should see it now. The bus route, now the bus is covered in spikes and the driver trades his roadkill for the night with the pie maker's brother. The badminton courts are now communal barbecue pits, where whole villages get together and cook burgers out of a football team from the next town over. The local boys wear nothing but a smile, and the local girls use the white dresses to dress nothing but bite wounds. No bastard bobbies bopping you on the head for pissing up the wall of the local pictures. We ate them first, of course. The font makes it a little bit difficult to read. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just I always knew it. Actually, so my mod Shiny is actually going over to Seattle for a job, and in Seattle, our witch here, that is the main character, is from Seattle, or well, there was a witch coven in Seattle where they dance naked in the rain. So I thought that was pretty topical. Exactly what I think Shiny will work as. I mean, it's the only work that you can find in Seattle nowadays, really. No, it's a very topical game. And so far, I have not seen any Germans. I think Germany might have been swallowed by a black hole. Or we were all zombified. Not quite sure. There's a lot of fun to be had when you are in it for yourself, my lovey. Huh? Well, apart from the cannibalism, that doesn't sound too bad. Shame about all the cannibalism. Okay, let's explore. Hey guys, you wanted to see me? Oh, Nico Day. Witch girl. You wouldn't happen to have any more secrets to divulge? Let me think. Oh, I discovered I had magic eyes when I was 9. The day I left school to become a witch, I sneezed in class and liquefied the home teacher. The home is the teacher. You have magic eyes? What do they do? Well, I don't have much control over them, but basically I do this. Hmm. Yeah, a shame. Well, not much was lost. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And stuff happens. Oh, stuff happened. Uh, Usually it's harmless, making people think strange things, or their limbs a little numb. Hmm. Makes tiny doggos do a backflip, or babies say their first words. But, occasionally it makes stuff turn inside out. I guess that's an extra secret for you, Nico. Well, it's my secret gathering that I need your help with, Charlotte. We're looking to expand the library to house my collections, but the engineering department exploded last night. Yeah, nah, just damn engineers. They earned it. I need you to find some power tools that will help us in the library build an extension. Are you up to the task? Sure, I guess I can handle that. Excellent. Try the corporeum. If anyone has power tools in this building, it will be that French girl. I can't remember my... I can't remember my father's face. The corporeum, I'll go check it out. Okay. Are we... Oh, okay. Oh, hey guys. Have you seen any engineers? We are trying to renovate the library. Oh, Caleb. Okay. Caleb Wakenshaw. We still have engineers. I thought they all exploded with the dopey machine that have been trying to build for York knows how long. Nope. There are still a few wandering around campus. They wander aimlessly, like engineers do. Withered as broken-hearted parsnips, the lot of them. Gotta have filled the Chapnel quota by now. I saw a student, no word of a lie, his entire head cut in half. Oh shit, really? Yep. But he was always a little two-faced. Ha! What a singer. Two-faced. I've heard the engineers use the Ethereum to store completed prototypes. Completed prototypes, Charlotte. Chances are they've got what you're looking for. Thanks, guys. I'll go check it out. Oh, hello. Hey, Vicky. Where the hell is everyone? The engineering building. Didn't you hear the explosion? Most people are off carrying the wounded to the infirmary. Oh yeah, of course. So, what are you doing here? Well, I don't have any arms. Ah, lucky break, huh? Well, it was more of a lucky ripping off and eating. Okay, so the buffet was open. Sup, Wallman? How's the science? She's the only one that actually can talk with him. I love this. Vicious and unrelenting. Radical. Hey, Jess, I'm told there's some sort of engineering project one of the guys left here. You think the library guys could borrow it? Huh? Oh, yeah. It's over there. Did you find it? It's some big ugly... What the fuck? I love their eyes. What is this thing? It's like half car engine, half steak, half steel purse? Is this for fighting ultra vampires or something? The reason you don't teach here, just pile on top of each other. I have a rock solid lady boner right now. God damn it. Yes, those are her hands. There's actually... the game is very self-aware. No, I actually... I really love the writing sometimes about this game. Also, if you watch back the VODs, the last VOD that we made on Halloween, I really fall there was a particular sort of library that I just fell in love with, or well, just a consortium of different books that I just the writing is just brilliant in this, and it totally gets me. So like I got hooked by the story as well, but mostly I'm staying for the writing, and it's just the setting by itself. It just writes the jokes itself, and most of the students that she has been very self-aware of. Most of them have some affliction with tentacles, and she has been wondering as to why that is. Although we didn't really get a clear answer. I guess it's just the highest form of evil. I gotta have one in black to show the coven. They lose their shit. Take it then. We were gonna use it to shut the Ethereum up, but that ain't happening. I thought witches were into herbs and eyeballs and cauldrons and stuff. Why are you rock solid over this monstrosity? First and foremost, witches like awesome stuff. Eyeballs are awesome. Cauldrons are awesome. Secret midnight dance-offs are awesome. And the lady boner is awesome. You are a colossal lunatic. Thanks, Jess. I'll see you later. Thanks for the compliment. I'm gonna talk with you first. Hey, Spooky. Nico's waiting for you in the library. Is that the thing? Yep, glorious, ain't it? If you say so. Looks like something they would build for fighting ultra vampires. I know, right? Okay. Hi guys, I got a thing. Oh yeah, his head is like, don't ask. Spooky girl. With the engineers taken ill, we have decided to use the shredded remnants of the department to store Nico's archives. Just until the engineers, start existing again. Yep, we won't need to renovate the library until they restart the technical course, which requires students with arms and or legs. Does that mean I get to keep the thing? Help yourself. What are you gonna do with it? I don't know. I just want to look at it. She's gonna do more than just look at it. Yeah, it's the little things. Well, good luck with that. Okay, job done. I'll go put this in my room, do a quick patrol, and start my private investigating. Our private investigating. So we have actually last time been sent to an outpost. We are kind of security staff in this. And we have been sent to an outpost and have specifically been told not to actually look inside the house or inside the outpost. Whatever happens. And so obviously we had to look with it. And yeah, it turned out they kept like a fishman kind of thing that had to extract goo from people's brains. And he kind of did not really like the university, which we are part in. Like we are a university, the Miskatonic for everything occult. So we kind of are investigating, unbeknownst to our superiors, as to what that goo stuff was, what the role of the university was in the case, and where the dude went off to, because he has been missing. Please report all breakages, spillages, corpses, interdimensional tears, and unattended viscera to a member of the janitorial staff. They are appropriately trained in sanitation, body disposal, quantum physics, and mild voodoo. Yeah, I mean, the quantum physics should be something that every kind of the janitorial staff should be having at least a basic knowledge of. My gym school, just to keep my arms if I were to attend. Well, you might even get some extra arms. Who knows? So where were you last night? I snuck into your room, but you weren't there. Just off on a secret mission. New Orleans, hidden keys, dark revelations, tragic tales, that kind of stuff. Top secret. Probably didn't hear about it. Wait, why were you in my room? I don't know, just for talking. You're pretty much the only person I talk to, other than my brother or the lunch lady. Which is Which he is like constantly like, oh, can I take a piece of this humanoid? Well, there's like an underground city part where it's just a long tunnel where they can get to all of the outposts through, I think, interdimensional rifts or something like that. I don't know. Uh, so yeah, it's all connecting. It's all connecting. The world has been kind of changed. That is why I said we didn't actually see any Germans yet, or former Germans. I'm not even quite sure if Germany exists on their world card. We got a little interlude in between for setting the world, and from what they've actually been explaining, is that the world looks quite different. It was actually going back from the end of it, where they explained now what happened in the story. So basically, we are kind of looking in the past right now, and yeah, there's some parts that fell apart and away from the world how we have been knowing it, and some parts were added to it. That's all the information we got about that. So I have to kind of believe, since there's no Germans around here, and that would be kind of just the most normal thing to put in a horror game as well. Like, we are the most normal folk to actually horrify. I mean, I am horrified by most other Germans. You know, I would actually have cause to believe that we are probably not on the face of the earth anymore. Maybe another face that we would be on. And that's usually about, lunches. That's probably because you are incredibly annoying. Besides, the only thing you talk to me about is trying to chomp my butt. Yeah. It's a good dynamic we've got, ain't it? Yeah, it's not bad. Charlotte. Thanks for the help with my archives. Care to add to them with another secret? Let me think. Well, the reason my hair is like this is so I don't accidentally use my eyes or something. If one of my eyes is covered up, it seems to lessen the effect. Weird, huh? Oh yes, I've heard about your magic eyes. Oh, Roger Cavendish. See what you can train your tentacles to do for you? I mean, they are so helpful. I may have a small experiment for you tomorrow, so don't go poking them out before then. And remind me to build a Charlotte ward for my archives. Sounds like fun. See you around, guys. Oh, this is our old friend from the Witch Coven. Why did you leave the Coven to work here, Roman? Well, what's the cult to Shop Nagura's motto? Preach harmony and compassion, for the universe offers neither. Exactly. Try to make the world a better place, cause it's incredibly shitty, and that's what these guys do, man. But rather than being nice and helpful to our neighbors, they are creating vaccines, technology, all that kind of stuff. The Miskatonic's on the frontier of occult science, and working here means you get to be a part of a collective of history makers. Trust me, Charlotte, they'll remember us when these guys cure cancer or polio or tentaclitis. Well, that makes sense to me. What about you? And why did you decide to work here? Same reason, I became a witch. I really like all the creepy bullshit. Raman seems to think these guys are on the level. And if I go blabbing about what I saw in the New Orleans, I could lose my job. Maybe it was just a handful of nutty folks performing weirdo experiments outside the university's eyesight. But then again, it was a whole facility dedicated to it, with a tunnel leading there, and warning signs and stuff all over the walls. No way this was a legit operation, and I'm gonna find out who's at the top. Yeah, now we have basically gotten the setup. German did this horror well. I need more dark. Not really horror, but it's a good mind bender. Yeah, no, I definitely do see that. I've talked about this before in the stream. I actually watched recently the whole of Junji Ito mangas of the Naruto series. not like Naruto the anime series, but there's a manga series and made by Junji Ito, which is a lot of body horror and a lot of twisted images. Like it is horror by itself, but it is definitely a lot psychological horror, and I found it really fascinating, like to see that horror in very mundane things. Um, and the way he sets it up really makes me like uncomfortable even in daylight, like this feeling of uneasiness that keeps lingering. He really is an expert of that, like not even that flickering light in another otherwise like a completely normal scenery or whatever, but actually just I do feel the same kind of horror no matter if I'm just in pure daylight or if it is nighttime. Which is kind of impressive. Like, I don't really like those, like, I mean, we don't really have to talk about jump scares too much, but just this very, very lingering feeling of uneasiness and kind of being uncomfortable with, um, like, you know, the fear of the unknown is what Pisha actually told us on Halloween. Like, fear is not the sight of death, but the fear of the unknown, what lies beyond that. And yeah, I've actually like completely like I'm not in any way happy about horror. Like I'm very easy to well, there's a big misunderstanding about horror, or there's a lot of parts which are just vastly more popular in horror than what I actually would then really like to feel. Like what actually makes me feel like this good feeling of why do I want to be scared? Um, or maybe, well, it is not really like scaring me is not a difficult feat. Like that is not some kind of quality of horror. I'm very easily scared, but um, like that is not the feeling that I would value behind it. And yeah, Junji Ito has definitely been something that I just in 2 nights I read all of them, or they are actually on YouTube. And mm, then Ghouls and Zombies. Yeah, I definitely do have to say, it's one of those genre tropes that just constantly keeps on reappearing. And yes, you can make it so that it's definitely an uneasy feeling, but um, like there's also this natural thing that horror really often gets mixed with action, and I can't stand that. Like that is not the mix that I want behind it. Like when horror actually goes into action, like yes, it like for all of the popular stuff, like there needs to be shooting and everything, but it is much scarier to me, like also what I valued so much in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, for example. There's a certain mission which I actually wanted to do on Halloween, but we have already been past this, so I opted for Pisha's abandoned hospital, god damn it. But there's a mission that in the first act, or well, you could say it's not really the first act, but more of a prologue area. But it's called the Ocean House Hotel, and there is no real danger to anything. It is just that uneasy feeling. You go into that old abandoned hospital, and I mean, you're a vampire. You are the thing that everything else in the dark should be basically bowing to. You are the thing that lurks in the shadow, and that is kind of what you have to tell yourself, because there's nothing that really hurts you. Like, I mean, okay, the ghosts can throw vases at you or whatever, but I find that much more to be sticking with me, that there is actually like this whole thing that I'm afraid of is actually something that can't really even touch me. Um, that is completely made through the atmosphere, completely made by my own imagination. Also, what I always say about horror games, like personally, Cry of Fear, I have actually told Jimbo about it to play it, because I'm too much of a pussy to play it. Um, Cry of Fear works with the first Half-Life engine, with the Source engine, and it it makes it so much worse for me that, you know, like it gets my mind going because there's not high fidelity graphics to it, and you know, my mind actually puts this stuff more together, and the movements that are actually, you know, very unnatural, very clunky. There's this um what is it, the what is the valley called? There's some technical term for this uneasiness that you get in robots. Um, it's not Stardew Valley, although I could. That is also very very much horror for me, but it's not Stardew Valley. The Uncanny Valley, yes, and their movements, because of the old engine, they are so uneery. There's something just wrong with that movement from each character. They're just too clunky. Like joints should not be moving like that. But it gets my mind so going, especially because it's so washed out and so pixelated. Like that goes much more into my head than when I already have a finished product with those high fidelity graphics that I can just say, okay, that's what the game has presented me. Apparently, my oldest brother was babysitting me once, and he put on Dead Alive. He used a lawnmower to cut the zombies down. I found it hilarious. I told you, you are beyond repair. Yes, your brothers completely ruined you. It's one too many brothers. So what have you been working on? The rediscovery of one of the lesser species of Yith. By the way, most of those elder horrors that we have here, like Yith the Goth and the Cthulhu cult, and that is actually all from the different gods from Lovecraft. You know, the Eldritch horrors, the Chthonians, they are different fractions in this world that you know, follow specific gods, or that is basically what makes them up to be a certain race, kind of. It appears to be a form of black sentient cloud, though occasionally forming random solid shards of icicles in its core. When under severe distress, the Yithians seem to use them as a form of nourishment and humor, torturing them before they inhale the smoke. The odd thing is, in one of the last chapters of the Pnakotic manuscripts, the Yithians write that the clouds communicate in a human language. I've seen Hyperborean writings describing the human soul as floating black spikes. Funnily enough, sounds like the two might be related. It would mean that the first pre-human contact with the Yithians was situated in the lush jungles of the Arctic. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? No, because you're thinking I'm thinking what you're thinking. There should definitely be Flight of the Conchords in this world. I think we've got an explanation, an expedition to plan. Oh god. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh yeah, she's one of those fish mermaid, I don't know, kind of girls. I love H.P. Lovecraft. I actually, Shiny, my mod, has been reading different stuff on Halloween for her stream. I actually did want her to read a certain passage from Bram Stoker. Because I actually do have to say, the writing is just absolutely fascinating to me. I specifically read it in English, and the writing is just absolutely... It's absolutely so different from my understanding of English, and it's just like a good horror writer writes in ways that it is like the reading process itself is kind of uncomfortable for you because the expressions that horror writers use are something that you normally wouldn't see in other writings. Like, it's not just the expressions that they use, specifically going for the ugly and, like, they have always very, very many attributes that they give something, like it is squishy, it is like there's this natural feeling of uneasiness that they want to give you when reading, but also just from the expression, how they actually build their sentences. It should give you that feeling of unfamiliarity in the writing itself. Because when you are unfamiliar with something, that strange feeling, that draws you much more in than when you're actually just glancing over the words. So yeah, Dracula has actually been a very fantastic read. I have a friend who streams from Latvia, and I always feel like I'm hanging out with Dracula. Goals to get him to read Dracula on stream next year. Hell yeah! Yeah, I made her read Dr. Seward's diary about the patient Renfield that consumes all the different animals to gain strength for himself, which I found such an interesting affliction. But yeah. Our school's swims team each has a custom-made swimsuit to suit their needs. Their needs, of course, being the extraneous limbs of mutated proportions most of them have. What the fuck is a swimsuit? A suit that you wear when you swim. Well, she doesn't know, obviously, because she is dancing naked in the rain. I'm starting to get the impression that witches are the odd ones out. So how was your internal zombification? Any negative side effects? Nope, it was pretty smooth transition. Oh, I did figure out a cool trick of having my intestines falling out. Oh yeah, what's that? Just grab in and rip everything out. Works like a charm. My torso is completely hollow now. That sounds like literally the worst thing that can happen to a human being. But if a dumb idea works, it's not a dumb idea, I guess. Yeah, he has been internally zombified so that he can stay awake for his exams. Did you know our library holds records of every encounter with Yusgoth, the horrific god of eternal knowledge in human history? Wow, how many encounters have we had? None. Weird, right? Oh. Maybe that's why there's so many goofy fellas around. No knowledge god to give him some knowledge. Huh, that explains a lot. Mary Shelley, yes, that's also a fantastic read. Super interesting that a woman in the era was writing horror. Yeah, she was actually writing together with her husband as well, giving kind of antithesis to each other with their different lectures, which I find a very, very interesting dynamic between the two of them. And hey, Shiny, just as we have been talking about the vampire, how's it going? Yes, just when you come in, chat is dead. You missed probably not too much. The engineers department has been exploded. Or just the engineers. Something exploded. Hello, Wobbly Bum. Fancy meeting you here. Oh god. Indulging in some light reading, are we? Well, I was gonna check out Tentacle Tactics, a dissertation on regaining control on rogue transportation circles, but I've lost my appetite. Tentacle Tactics, oh yeah, that's actually what I will name my book. It's gonna be an autobiography. I'm exhausted, but everything is in my car. Well, congratulations. Everything is fitting, or is it halfway falling out again? She is gonna drive around half the globe. For knowledge. Oh, these? White chocolate and sugar paint. I just make these in the kitchen to remind me of home, you know? Wow, really? No. The engineering department exploded, remember? Means I get a pig out. Awesome. Thanks, Annie. Oh, God. I love this. I love this game. Oh, yeah. You will like her. Kokiri, you are gonna like her. Hey, Mimi. She puts little puppets on her tentacles. How did you survive the engineering explosion? It took out the whole department. I was in the garage across campus. It was one of the great things about being a mechanic. You don't spend a lot of time trying to invent a better wrench. Because you're too busy overcharging for spark plugs and peeking in pin-up calendars, gotcha. We had a pin-up calendar at the Cavern headquarters once. And by pin-up calendar, I mean a spell of the month calendar. And by headquarters, I mean Susie's house. And by once, I mean every year since I was 9. Avery Marr. Thanks to our efforts in the Corporeum, preternatural medicine has advanced 200 years. New England's mutagenic atmosphere has gone from a cataclysmic Armageddon to a mild mutational nuisance. This is a lot of words. I'm definitely gonna be so much better in like this is not going to happen. Like with Bram Stoker reading the or Shelley that I also read in English, I gain nothing from it. Like just the same as expanding my vocabulary. Like most of this I'm gonna read once, or like the actual intricacies of building a very interesting English language or the English sentence, which I would say then is a very interesting dissection of the language. I'm just not gonna use them often enough so that this actually goes over to my brain. I'm going literally from end to end, yeah. It's a terrible drive. We moved to eastern side California when I was a kid. There's a rough drive. I should read Stoker for us next time. No, I feel like... I mean... maybe. There's a certain passage which if I find it, I'll probably try to read it and completely fail. I mean, I'm also halfway failing at this one, but... at least it's somewhat possible. The passage that I told you about with the old sailor guy. I would probably read that. When I was a kid, I saw a guy whose face was a butt crack. Alive and well, thanks to the Corporeum. Yeah, and he was English, so it was kind of basically a win. Does the creative writing teacher seem a little weird to you? Whenever someone answers the question wrong, his eyes start pouring with blood. The blood thing's a little disconcerting. But when the class starts clutching their heads and covering their ears to drown out the shrieking, that's what gets me. Huh, that creative writing teacher is either some sort of banshee or just a huge douchebag. Oh. I want to see what the monster maid is about. I'm gonna take my 2 weeks holiday to go work on one of these skullcrackers, sailing around Drillish. Or Relay. No, I don't know. Like it's probably made to not be pronounced, so... I'll post it in the Discord, yeah. I'll see about it. Nah. If you want to look it up for me, Kokiri. Nah. I'll see about it. But I haven't found it last time, so... It was probably just much closer to the beginning than I thought. I'm gonna turn has to be the easiest job in the Miskatonic office, right? You know they call it the Nightmare Corpse City for a reason, right? Because it's a nightmare city filled with corpses, or a city filled with nightmarish corpses. They said it about everything. They said it about Milwaukee. I bet it's in a nightmarish city filled with equally nightmarish corpses. But then again, I've never been to Milwaukee. So that is where I'm grateful that we have Shiny around. So how is Milwaukee? How long am I gonna be on for? Another hour and a half? Something like that. I want to, also take my time with this, just like we did with the other one. So I'm gonna go and probably play this until we end the day, or until we actually get our routine route through once. Something like that. Yingren sickness, China, causes the victim to see a pair of glowing eyes in places of pitch darkness. Sufferers were terrified of falling asleep. Nothing that the eyes seemed to get closer whenever they looked away from them. The worst sufferers saw them even when they had their own eyes closed. Narcotic plague, Italy. Okay, Mario. Scriptures and texts were being hidden inside Italy's most popular newspaper crossword puzzle. Those that completed the crosswords were rewarded with terrifying revelations of the birth of humanity, most being driven insane by their new knowledge. Domestic earwig New Zealand. What the hell are you? A simple earwig that crawls into victims' ears at night, but makes sounds of horrific muffled screaming and violence. Sufferers thought that their neighbors were literally murdering each other, many trying to save contented wives by murdering innocent husbands. The male population of New Zealand halved over the weekend. Yeah, no, that was last week, right? Yeah, not tonight. Okay, that one wins. Hey guys. Whoa, what's that wriggling meat slab? That right there, that right there, a piece of Cthulhu's skin. Charming, ain't it? Grody. But I thought Cthulhu was like some huge alien god. How did you guys get such a huge chunklet of him? Well, he might be a huge alien god, but he is still corporeal, are we? Funny story, there's a lost underwater in the Pacific called Riley that used to act as a prison of Cthulhu. Cultists spent a couple thousand years trying to get him out of there, but a few years ago some Norwegian whaling crew accidentally let Cthulhu out of his cage. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it would be. Also, the European Union has been trying to make the biggest anti-fishing zone around the Antarctic, but they did fail this year because of Norway, China, and Russia. We're gonna try next year again, if we don't free Cthulhu in the meantime. As Cthulhu changed the charge... Wait... Damn it. As Cthulhu chased their yacht, out of desperation the crew decided to ram his face with their boat. This caused Cthulhu's head to explode into mushy goo, disabling him. But his head slowly started reforming the moment it exploded. Smart fella then immediately told the Miskatonic, who now employs a fleet of icebreakers to continually drive through the mushy remains of his head, stopping him from reforming and destroying the world. Sounds like a fun gig. What are the Wigglies doing? They point towards the rest of the host, desperately trying to reform, we? Nowadays our supply ships use small pieces of Cthulhu flesh to point the way to Raleigh. Awesome, thanks for the biology lesson. Well, if that was my biology lesson, states like the Raleigh and say forecasters to fisheries in 10 whaling countries. Ugh. Yeah, no. Actually, relatively stupidly interesting. China has actually on rhinoceros horns. Um, they have actually now for the first time in the last 10 years or so gotten away with the restrictions on hunting them again. And yeah, Japan has been doubling down on their whale hunting processes, from what I've heard. But yeah, that's just our progressive natures as humanity. I hear the faculty's heading to Dunwich to Dunwich in a couple days. Need the locals to help build a new portal. Whenever I hear the name Dunwich, it puts a grin on my face to know that however tough the job gets, at least I'm not a portal diver. And it puts a smile on my face whenever I get my portal diver's paycheck. Damn shame your job standing in a hallway ain't so lucrative, huh? That's gotta be a pretty big paycheck if it's worth. A face made out of buttholes. eh, you know, minimum wage. I would work minimum wage, getting my face transformed into a bunch of buttholes. I mean, it's not much different from how it is now. Extra cerebral sentience seems to be a common factor outside the human race. Even when decapitated, some creatures seem to function with some control over their actions. It's a difficult thing to study, at least if you have any qualms about cutting the heads of a diverse selection of adorable animals. I really hope those guys have qualms about cutting heads of adorable animals. All the qualms. Well, you kind of turn cats inside out. I love how each character has some different about them that stands out visually. Oh no, they are. I mean, like I said, most of them have some affliction with tentaclitis. But they are all different in a way, yes. And they also have different jobs. So, the Jasmine guy, that is a portal diver that has to go and test those interdimensional portals that can then sometimes close and just split you in half. So, is there anything else? Like, what I actually really like about this world is the interactions that they have with one another. Like, there's so many different concepts that never actually really come together. Like when you actually create this world and you just bring different horrors into it, like of course the different horrors would also have interrelationships between one another, and that would bring then new stuff about it. And I really like that they are trying to make this their little own world, where everything has a place from the horrors, from the original horrors that they have taken this from, but by itself it also builds something for itself. So is there anything else I should know about nature and its communal consciousness or whatever? Yeah. Don't eat carrots. They hate it. I actually ate a whole bunch of carrots today. I made chicken nuggets and vegetables, and just bought a package deep frozen vegetables, and most of it was carrots, but it actually was like maybe 200 grams of chicken and 400 grams of vegetables. I don't feel that's the right. No. It should have been the other way around. But I did not actually want to split it up. Like it was not one portion, but one portion. But it was deep frozen when I actually had to give it into the pot. So you know how difficult it is to actually cut something that is deep frozen. So I just like plopped it in there, and then I had 400 grams of vegetables. So I was like, well, I guess we are gonna live healthy now. Not that it was in any way my plan to live healthy ever, but sometimes for convenience sake, you gotta live healthy. Yeah. Communal consciousness. That's a cool idea. Would be a lot easier to spread harmony if everyone was connected at the brain. Then again, it would be a lot easier to infect people with the asshole virus. Probably the best that we all think for ourselves. It's still spreading. How's it hanging, Wallman? What say you and me get out of here, hit the town, grab some street food? Could go for a foot long. Awesome. Please don't encourage the eldritch barrier protecting the western hemisphere of our planet from our incredibly volatile experiments on the original Necromanticon to misbehave. Sorry, I'm just fooling around with him. What you been working on? Yeah, the wall keeps, the horrors that the Miskatonic may create at check and eats everything that would try to get out. I really enjoy veggies. Well, you're a girl. I want more chicken nuggets. It is the goal of no food of no meal whatsoever is to live healthily of it. That's not the goal of food. I don't feel like that should be it. Christmas is inching closer, and every time I get really sad because when I was in Germany, the neighbor always had Stollen. I actually am not such a big fan of Stollen. Well, why do I call it Stollen? That makes no sense. No, I never actually really liked Stollen. Just never my big thing. What I actually really like was, Plätzchen. All of the little bakery goods. My grandmother always made Vanillegipfel. Oh my god, this. Oh. Well, my grandmother died in the beginning of the year, so. Not this year, unfortunately, but, well. Not ever again. No. I'll have to see. But yeah, that is also easily one of my... Also, Glühwein. Although people always make fun of Glühwein because you don't know what is in there. I had a shitty beginning of the year anyway, so meh. Currently, the effects of applying samples of Necronomicon parchment to hardened patches of human flesh. And the sample of parchment actually scribes the entirety of the Necromanticon's contents onto the subject's skin, essentially making a new copy of the books by tattooing the subject's skin. Or, scarring. And the people you are doing this to are okay with that? I don't know. That's not my department. Why? Never mind. See you around, Jess. That experiment sounded pretty nefarious, but nothing about brains and goo extractions. Better keep an eye on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the headmaster. I want you to meet our small little Yissagoth girl, but unfortunately, I don't know where she is. But I hope we are gonna meet her before you're actually going. Did you hear? They cancelled the liberal arts program yesterday. Liberal arts? That's like the study of a little bit of everything, right? Why did they cancel it? Well, you can imagine a little bit of everything here at the Miskatonic. Oh, yeah. I guess that would be a little suicidal. Having a brain composed of ethereal ooze does have its drawbacks. Last night I lost some goo, and it had dripped off in the rain, and I forgot everything I learned in college. That's exactly what happened to me as well. But I miss Schnitzel. Hell yeah. Like, of course, the first thing any American thinks in California, a very small gem of a place where a very old, angry German woman made German food everywhere. Okay, I remember her so well. She always wears, yeah, the worst apron, and said, "I yell because I care." It's exactly. I actually wanted to send you. I wanted to send you a clip with Christoph Waltz on Conan. Christoph Waltz being Australian, Austrian, and he has been talking about the difference between Austrians and Germans, and like there's no finesse, nothing, you know, there's no grace in everything that Germans are doing. There's just, well, that straight out, straight to my face, and I definitely do see that. There's definitely something that I do take to heart myself, probably even more than others as well. Um, Whereas Austrians are like, well, we smile, we are nice, we are, well, we don't mean it. So I actually wanted to send you that clip. I literally searched for like an hour to find a good joke video about Germans, but there literally was none. No, I actually thought about another Conan video with Flula, which is a German that does American videos or videos in America on YouTube, and he has been visiting Germany together with Conan 2 years ago or so. I'm very blunt, but it's quite okay with me. Yeah, there's a lot of harshness in that as well, so I'm definitely someone that is either liked or hated, and mostly hated. And that is mostly swapping over to the people that would like me, that the first thing they hear is that I'm not very likable, so nah, it's a good thing in a way, but it's also something that I'm not very super proud of. Although I couldn't do it in any other way, because, like I said, I'm kind of a truth seeker, and that honesty, like, it shouldn't leave that room for those little white lies. I don't have to be harsh in just about everything, and there are certainly times where you just, if the only thing I can say is something that makes me sound like an asshole, no, if there is nothing nice that I can say, then it is sometimes better to just shut up. But I'm not okay with telling white little lies in between. So yeah, I'm also never a fan. Like I said last time, in the beginning of the week, when I was banned by someone else and I had to find out by me coming to his channel and then finding out, okay, I'm banned now, and then have to ask around like an idiot as to why I'm even banned in the first place. I find that weakness. If you have those rules, then enforce them, but do tell me. It's not something that I want to find out and from behind my back and then being presented with the fact. My mother always said to me growing up, tact is for those not witty enough to be sarcastic. Probably. In a way I can definitely see it. I think being tactful, it is a nice thing. It's a nice thing to have, and being charming and filigrane, it has its own worth, that should not be overlooked, but it is often used in ways that is more hurtful in the long run than it is for the moment just a good thing. It is more tools to masking than to actually really make someone feel nicer about themselves, or yeah. Well, I never really thought about this so hard. Um, it's just a general feeling I have about us. Well, I forgot everything I learned in college. Wow, how much ooze did you lose? About half a teaspoon. But the only thing I learned in college was how to play beer pong. Huh, these guys have brain goo pouring out of their heads. I wonder if it's the same brain goo as the brain goo we discovered. But these guys have purple brain goo, whereas the stuff I found was orange. Are there multiple flavors? You should definitely give a little bit to Annie for testing. What's up, Charlotte? You're looking a little frazzled. It's nothing. Wandering the halls, listening to the folks are working on. Wandering more halls. It's a weird job. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you are making us feel a lot safer. We haven't had an accident in the whole building since you have been here. Oh yeah, right, the engineers have been exploded somewhere else. That's cause most folks are just standing around in the hallways talking about board games and diseases and shit. What are they waiting for? Dr. Thirst Valentine might come off as a little apathetic towards the plight of humanity, but he gets it. And that's what we need at the frontier of occult science. He gets it. What does he get? He gets that sacrifices have to be made, both from inside the university and outside of it. It's a nice thought to think that all humanity needs is a little love and tenderness, cult girl, but love doesn't cure blight pox, does it? Bye now. Well, I think I just made a breakthrough in my investigation. If Thirst thinks like that, it ain't hard to imagine that he'd be fine with kidnapping folks. And if Manny's agrees with his methods, maybe other scientists here do too. Well, let's see. Yep, all quiet in the on the Eldritch font. Awesome. Well, it's getting late and most of the staff tuck in early, so you can take the rest of the night off. Great, I guess I better get out, go get on everyone else's body clocks then. I'll be in my room if you need me. Well, I'm no closer to figuring out who's behind the brain goo. But there are a few folks acting suspicious. It might just be dark humor, a coping mechanism, but it sounds like some of these guys are fine with gruesome shit happening to innocent people. I mean, it's not like there isn't plenty of gruesome shit happening to innocent people out there already. But that doesn't excuse kidnapping people and collecting brain goo. Oh yeah, this is we have been collecting the posters of the books that I've been talking about. Like I said, watch back the VODs if you want to know what that is about. First thing tomorrow, I'm gonna find out who it is. Good morning, evening. Ladies and gents, Mindy here wishing you all a pleasant and fulfilling evening, pushing the boundaries of occult science with little regard for ethics or consequence. Oh, Shop, don't tell me she does that every night. And now, everyone's favorite part of the show, Mindy's Muse, giving you cheerful and uplifting stories from around the world. Uplifting in the sense that it reminds people that our precious little university isn't actually a bastion of liquid shit and human suffering compared to the rest of the world. At least, not the worst one. Firstly, there have been reports of sightings in rural Russian villages of a strange new supernatural species, described as bipedal. Humanoid constructs, roughly 15 feet tall, with a skin made of thin, clear glass. Strangely, the glass men appear to be stuffed with loose, random human organs, extremities and entrails that all appear to be working correctly. Open heartbeat, unconnected intestines masticate, severed hands wriggle their little fingers. These creatures will wander silently into local villages, take a person's hand and walk back to the forest, with people too petrified to protect. Wait, to protest. God damn it. I can't read. My mama is adopted, and my grandmother is actually first generation American. I guess I'm used to it. So while I'm not German by blood, I guess she's exposed me to some of it. Oh god, you have been exposed. I'm sorry, Kokiri. I'm so sorry. But maybe that is why we are actually getting along so well. Our local Miskatonic correspondent, Dave Chumley, ends his report form in the personal notes section with, "Oh god, this is the freakiest shit, oh god, she just walked away with it, oh god, one of them has a fetus in its head, oh god, it's breathing, get me the fuck out of here." Hilarious. And if you think trained Miskatonic operators being frightened like tiny babies by walking lunchboxes is fun, reports from Paris state that the latest operation to clear this so-called void from the catacombs of Paris have ended in disaster. Oh god, I'm gonna get banned again. Oh yeah, that god the peanut butter girl worships. Shit's bizarre. The only survivors of the 14-man operation has said that the void once again crept into the minds of the agents, stating that the 3 that turned their shotguns on themselves turned out to be the luckiest ones. He went on to describe the deaths of the other 10 men to our university liaison in what can only be described as a puppeted trance, including bashing their heads against catacombs walls, tearing their eyes out and filling their sockets with gunpowder, and simply chewing the flesh of each other's faces until, in a hollow voice, he told the liaison, "Don't come back." He then proceeded to swan dive out of the French headquarters' secondary story building onto the concrete below. And from the other side of the world, there have been reports from New Zealand of a new supernatural insect infecting the populace. Right, the earwig thing. Here those guys are joking about it. I guess she is not gonna stop talking about creepy bullshit. Might as well try and sleep through it. The creature seems to carry no physically debilitating illness, but while pupating in the victim's ear... Oh, pupating. Oh, okay. And hey, Larix. At least an odd place to jump in. No, this is completely normal. This has been literally the game so far. But while pupating in the victim's ear will generate a muffled sounds of screaming and brutality, many victims believe that their neighbors are visually attacking each other. Thousands of people have already been murdered in an attempt to save imaginary spouses from imaginary violence. Local Miskatonic correspondent Sasha, the Basher, Coombs had to say this. "Just kill her already. I just want to sleep." Ah, Sasha, silly bollocks. There's no her. And talk like... God fucking damn it. And talk like that gets you visits from the Miskatonic's in-house sensitivity trainer. Ah, come on. It's just your neighbor's wife. But yeah, Larix. She tried to sensitivity train me once, back when we were allowed to flirt at work. I had never done it before, but the cute lad from the literature department said he was uncomfortable when I sat opposite of him with a bowl of spaghetti, stared at him, and screamed, "This could be us!" before throwing his head down into the meal. That would have worked in England. Long story short, sensitivity training can suck my spaghetti. Oh. That's a good motto to live by. For myself as well. Man, I still feel the branding iron on my back. The ice water hosing. The bloody speech. This will learn you not to be insensitive, she guffaws. Wait, guffaws? Whipping hot dry dog chains across my dangling broken body. Might as well call it a corpse, the damage on it. Still taste blood at the thought of it. Thought it might be someone else's. Okay. So anyway, that's why I'm convinced that giraffes are from another dimension. And that concludes Mindy's Muse. We went a little over the time slot, but that's okay. This has been Mindy in the Morning, signing off for the evening. Good morning, Miskatonic. It's your angelic little ball of adorable Mindy in the Morning. Bringing you all the morning announcement from across campus. 8 goddamn hours. Firstly, students of the creativity writing teacher, Mr. Shoshiguratsu, Steve, have a day off, as Mr. Steve yesterday accidentally wrote his name on blood-dipped parchment and subsequently opened a nexus to his cadaverous homeworld, swallowing the entire post office. The post office, of course, being rife with blood and parchment. Secondly, a reminder to students and faculty in the biology department that the revolvers held in the wall-mounted glass cases are for suicide purposes only. Don't try to be a hero when little Sashi slashes herself with the rage virus. Let her do it to herself, or let our security forces take care of her. MacGuffin. I got it. Thanks. Yeah, exactly, melee. Well, you could say we had a melee about it. The turnover rate is high enough already, and our woodworking teachers are complaining about the amount of coffin projects they have their students working on. The security team is there to die, so you don't have to. Thanks, Dick. Finally, our Argentinian outpost has delivered to us a genuine Zagosh brain. Much to the delight of Dr. Thirst Valentine, the brain has been sent to the Corporeum, and test will begin today. This has been your favorite morning radio host, Mindy in the Morning, with the Miskatonic morning announcements. Hello, Charlotte. You are needed in the Corporeum, we? Okay. I'll be there in a second. Thanks, Marie. Alright, time to head to the Corporeum. But the investigation is still on, so I gotta keep an eye out for the mischief. And I think with that, we have it off the Miskatonic for now. I think this is a good point to fill an empty save slot. And how do I... wait. How do I actually get out of here? Okay, so I can only close it with this one. Perfect.